Hello, I wanted to do a quick card with Lovely as a Tree, our favorite, all-time favorite stamp set is retiring. It will no longer be available. June 3rd, it goes away from our catalog. So I thought I'd give it one more go round before it goes away. So this is the card I made. I used every stamp in the set, oops, wait a minute, except for the little pine cone with the little leaves. I probably could put them down here, but nah, I'm good. But I did the backgrounds, I did the big like oak looking tree, and then I did the pine trees in there, and then I did that one with the saying in there. So let's get started. I'll tell you, I was going to do it this way, but then I couldn't get that tree in, so I did it that way, and it still stands up fine. So it stands up, so that's all that matters, and I'm going to sit that right there. I'm going to work on this one. I'm going to do it a little different. So I did use Lovely as a Tree. Like I said, it's retiring on the 3rd of June. Will be the last day you can purchase this from the catalog. It's $20 in our catalog. If you haven't got this set, it's an all-time favorite for I think every Stampin' Up! Demonstrator plus their customers. So I don't know anybody that doesn't have it actually. None of my customers, or everybody has it already. But maybe you don't, and this might inspire you to take one last look at it and get it if you really want it. I love trees, so it's a gotta have for me. And I used the sentiment because there's no sentiments, it's just stamps, images. And I used it from Peaceful Place, thinking of you with gratitude for your part in my journey. And I think that's a fitting ending to put on the stamp set that's retiring, because it has meant so much to so many people, and I've used it for birthdays and for sympathy and for all occasions. Christmas, I've used it for Christmas trees, Christmas cards type things. I've used it for lots of things in craft fairs. So it's been on a long journey with me, and I'm saying goodbye to it. So I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to keep it in my collection. So let's get started. Okay, the supplies you will need are, okay, I have a whole bunch right here. You'll need an 8.5 by 5.5, your normal A2 size card. This is soft suede, and you score at 4 1/4, and then score at 1.5. So we want it scored at 1.5, and we're going to fold and burnish it. There's my bone folder. I'm going to fold this one back and this one like your normal card. So this is how it's going to look, right, when we got it done. Then you will need a piece of Fairy Vanilla, and this measures 5 3/4 by 4 1/8. The reason I didn't do 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, I'm sorry, I don't know where I got my head there. I wanted it just to barely have a border. So just cut it a smidgen smaller than your card, right? And that's going to go there. Then you will need a Very Vanilla piece for your front. And this measures, the strip is, where did I write you? 1 1/4 by 5.5. So this is 1.5, and this is 1 1/4. So you'll have a bit of a border on that one, right? Then you will need a little piece of scrap paper. Like I used a piece of my grid paper. It doesn't matter, it's all marked up, that's good. You will need some strips from Wood Textures stamp set. DSP. Yeah, it's already done. So I cut from my scraps. Look, I got a bunch of little strips, all different designs, and we are going to put them on here on a diagonal like so. Where's that one piece? Let me start with that. So it doesn't matter which side, you can just put it on here on an angle. Just glue it on like so. I'll put a light one here. It's hard to see with this white here. Right here. Let me get a bit of colour. Now I can use my folder, be able to see it a little better. Sorry, you can't see white on white. I should have thought about that. But you don't want to use cardstock because it will make your card too thick. So I'm using the back of this folder so you can still see. Right, so put this on an angle, like so. It doesn't matter any kind of an angle, as long as you're going on an angle, you're good. And just fill this up, like put glue all over. And then fill it all up, like so. Yeah, do the light one. That one. Oops, that one. Just so as you have a bunch going across diagonally. And glue them down. And then I'm going to, after it's all glued down, I'm going to trim all around the back. So it will look like this, okay? So that's my grid paper, and we're just going to trim all the way around after we have it all glued on to make this, all right? And then set that aside, I don't need this. So you'll need that, and we're going to cut the circle out of that, and I have the dies for this here. Okay, for the stitched circle, you need the one that measures 2 7/8, the one that measures 2 3/8, and for the regular layered circles, layering circles, you need the one that measures about 2 7/8 for the early espresso. So for that one, and that one. Okay, we need those. You'll need a piece of gold foil sheet, and I am actually using a piece of an envelope liner that came in a paper pumpkin, I believe it was, and this is about 1/2 inch by 5 1/2, and you'll need a piece of early espresso, just a little piece of scrap strip to go down the middle, and I also had a piece of, which I don't see, so I'll grab this one. A strip of soft suede. This measures 1 inch by 5 1/2, and we're going to put that on there like so. Like these. Glue, 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 and then we'll snip it off even with the early espresso, because the early espresso is the right length. Or the soft suede, I'm sorry, soft suede is the right length. Oh, so is the early espresso. So we just snip off the gold after we got it all glued, and we get this, right? So we can set that one aside. Then you will need a piece for the front, and I put it in here. I hid it underneath this piece here, and a piece of the early espresso, and we'll chop them down as we need them. Now this one I decided to, before I glue this on and that, well, one of the sides, I'm going to attach this on there, even with our card, of course, just to give it a little bit more stability rather than it standing up on the circle. So I'm going to glue it on there, like so. So it would be like a floating, this will be open in here, and it will be glued on there. But it won't be hiding our picture because we're going to glue it before we actually put our picture on. So I think that'll look a little bit better. So that's what we're going to do different on this card. So I think we are good to go, and I forgot to cut my circle out of this. So I need to do that real quick. I have the circle already cut out using this one. So I have this folded the way you need it. And then this would be your next step. We are using the largest to cut that out. And how you do that is you put this in your Big Shot. I should bring my Big Shot over because I'm going to need it for that anyway. Let me move these out of the way for a sec. To the side, I need you. Put you there. Let me get my big shot. I'm right-handed, so I have to do it this way. Put my thing in there. So in order to get it so that you're not cutting on the whole circle here, you put this onto the very edge. I don't know if you can see. I hope so. Maybe I need to move it this way. You put it onto the very edge of your thing. Put your circle on there, like so, like that, and it won't cut this out because it's over the edge. It won't cut that off, so it just cuts that half a circle. Okay, now we've already used that one. For this, it's basically the same thing. I don't want to cut, I only want to cut that little portion out, but it's not going to matter on here. So I have 2 little marks on here. I have a little tiny mark right here and a little tiny mark right there where I'm going to put my die. So I need to make it the same size as that. So we're using a big one and we're going to layer it. See my mark here? I'm going to put it in here. And line up that mark and about halfway in here, and we should be good about so. Okay, like that. And then you put your top on, and I gotta run this through. I hope I don't get in the way. Sorry. There. There we go. Move this back out the way. Don't need it. I should have done that and just explained it as I was telling you about it, rather than trying to put it in the camera view. Oh dear. Right. Well, I forgot to cut that out, didn't I? So there we go. This is just a scrap. I don't think I'll use it, so I'm just going to set it aside. So now this will actually, that'll be our front, and this is going on the inside like so. And we're going to glue that on there. Okay, so alright, let's get started on our card. It's not difficult. I just kind of tend to make things look difficult sometimes. So we're going to stamp. I stamped the images on here. Put my card over. Get a little block and take this little leaf. Oh, here's a little smaller one. Oh, you will need Early Espresso ink as well. Early Espresso, and I use Tranquil Tide and Lemon Lime Twist on my tree. So alright, we're just going to stamp in different directions as much as we can with one ink up. Now we'll do a second ink up. Twist, turn, twist, turn. Off the edge, and let's do you. There. Okay, that should be good, right? So we'll clean off my stamp in a second. Oh, no, I might as well leave this out and do the next one. Right, so, because then we can do all of our sponging at one time. I'm going to use the bigger image, the bigger leaf. And I did it on this portion right there. Just avoid your circle, that's all, as best you can, like so. There we go. There. and that'll be hidden, so you don't need to worry about that. Alright, because I messed up there, we could put the gold and the other thing on the end there. So that's going to be folded over. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Right, and this is going on here. And you can totally sponge the edges, like so. Just give them a quick sponge. Just give it that old grungy look. I like it. It's old, antiqued, weathered, you name it, I like it that way. Alright, so that is going to go like right on there. And why don't we do that right now? Take some liquid glue. I can put this away for a sec. We'll do a portion of the card at a time here. There we go. Just, I've got so much stuff on my thing. All right, we're just going to center this on here, about so. All right, hold it down. I'm going to take our gold, and I'm just going to put a line of glue down the very edge here. I'm going to tape that on, or glue it on, not tape. We can trim it off even later. And just push it into how wide you want it to look. And I think that'll be about good. Alright. And we're going to just trim this off. Alright. Now I'm going to take a piece of the early espresso and put that down there too. And the reason I put this on the first card is I kind of sort of cut it wrong. And you could see this little portion here. So it's all good now. So put that right there. Or I could put it there. Nope. I'm going to just put it right there. So anyways, let's stick some glue down on the bottom here. And down on the bottom there. And tape that down, not tape, but glue it. And then we're just going to butt this right up against it, stick a little strip of glue here. And put our early espresso there, like so. I'll clean that up later, the glue. Now let's trim that off. Alright, now before we glue this, we're going to remember to add our strip that we made with the 1-inch Sahara sand. Is that the color? My mind's gone blank. Okay, and your gold and your early espresso. We're going to set that down in here. And put some glue onto here. So it will hold that on there. And these, this foil I used is picks up all your fingerprints and everything, but I use a nice soft cloth to rub that off when I'm done and clean it up. Just gonna put that down there like so. So it's on there, and I can put my circle in the back on there too. So we're halfway done. So that will be able to stand a lot better than the last card. Now, for our circles, we're going to use the big stamp. Actually, we're going to use them all. Might as well take them all out because the only one I didn't use was that little piece. So now we can take our big one and put it on a large block. And this is on, you have like a 2.5 inch area to play with. So you want to put it as far up on your paper as you can go. So we'll get that done. Why am I having such a problem? There we go. So ink up your stamp. We're good. And put it all the way as far up to the top as you can go. Centered there. There we go. Now while we have this, I'm going to do the saying right here in the center as well. So we'll take thinking of you with gratitude for your part in my journey. And we'll put it onto our block. And we want it in the center and up as far as we can go. So like so. That will be that one. And that's going to go like right there. And we're going to put this right here. And our circle, large circle. This is the smaller one, is going on the front. So let's do that while in the block. Do the small tree on the front. Just press it down in the center of your card. Of your little stitch shape, circle. Flip it off. There we go. Beautiful. And then for the large tree, just take your large block and ink that up too. I'm going to stick on here so you don't have to look at too much of an ugly paper. Ink up. And then we're going to stamp 3 times. So we're going to put it down, knock it off, stamp to the left or the right, and then again to the left. There we go. So we have 3 trees on that one. So I can put that aside now. I think we might be done with our ink. Unless we wanted to sponge the edges, which I'm going to not do that on camera for now. So, let's put it all together. We're almost done, almost done. Just glue it together and we're good. Alright, so put your glue on the back. And around the bend. And line it up with your centerpiece here. Should be good. Liquid glue just takes a minute to adhere to your project. So, and then we're taking our big circle and we're going to put it here, like so. So we can put our glue on here. And here. So. And using liquid glue gives you a little wiggle room to maneuver. So we're going to put you like right there. And we're going to take this one and put it on the front like so. but we can put it together first. Just take your glue, squiggle it around, center it on your early espresso. Like I said, you can move it a bit with the glue, then press it down, and then take your glue again, and we have our trees going the right way. Make sure this tree is going the right way. Line up with your stitches, like so. Now if you want to leave it in the browns, so it's all monotone, that would be pretty too. But I took and sponged the green on there just to give it a pop of color. So yeah, I'm just, for the sake of it, I'm going to just stick some tape on here real quick. Oh, upside down. Good job. Good catch. There we go. Like so. So there's the inside of our card and the outside of our card, like so. Now that was not very hard at all to make. And once it dries, you can flatten it out to keep it straight for a while, because it's got a lot of glue on there to dry. But there, I wanted to say goodbye to Lovely as a Tree, and that's my card to say goodbye. But I am going to color this one too, just to show you what I did. All right, I did use the brown, what I had left on my sponge. I just colored the trunk in the brown, early espresso, that we used for all the stamping. Then I took the Tranquil Tide and just dabbed and colored just a little bit, just to give it a little color, a little definition, and in the grass area as well. Dab it on there, close it up, and then take your lemon lime twist, give it that little bit of light color in there as well, and just dab away, and it just gives it a little bit dimension. It looks pretty there. So we have the different colors, greens and the brown in there. So easy to color with these little daubers. You don't have to get your markers out. It's quick and easy. You can't mess it up really. It's quite a big tree. Oops. So I colored it, but you can certainly leave it solid if you want to just leave it in the early espresso. So this stamp set, like I said, will be available only until June 3rd. So if you've not already purchased it, now is your chance. It's $20 in the catalog. You can shop. I will have the list below, or you can visit my website and shop through there. And if you don't have a demonstrator, and if you purchase $50 in products, I will send you a free tutorial of your choice that I have on my website, and you can pick one. We have 7, 8 of us that are creative stampers, and we do the tutorials monthly. We started in April, so our 3rd month will be coming up shortly. And 3rd month's tutorials are going to be the most favorite new stamp set from the new catalog that we like. So we'll be working with whatever one that we want to work with that we love in the new catalog. Last month's was masculine, and then the month before that, I believe, was like spring flowers or something like that. But there'll be 3 tutorials up there shortly. before June 3rd anyway. And if you purchase $50, like I said, through my store, I will be happy to send you one of those for free. Or you can purchase them too. All the details will be on my website. So thank you for watching. You have a wonderful day. Today is Mother's Day here in the USA. So I wish everybody out there a happy Mother's Day, or a pet fur baby Mother's Day, or say hello to your mums for me. My mom is in heaven, and I miss her and always will. And I'm sure some of you out there miss your mums as well. Also to the dads too, that do a double duty, and they play mom and dad. So they deserve a Mother's Day too. So thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Subscribe if you can, and let me know that if there's anything I can upload, or something you'd like to learn or see, or a certain card. I'd be happy to help out. So you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.